Two. Welcome to the online course on adapted physical education. In this course, you will be given basic information on adapted PE, eligibility protocol, least restrictive environment, contact information, and best practices. Notice the definition below. All students, including those with disabilities, deserve appropriate, safe, and meaningful physical education instruction programs as identified by the Texas Education Agency. This slide shows the information about the contact for the adaptive physical education program. If you'll notice, each adaptive PE teacher has a feeder pattern. For instance, Ross Ernst has Dobie High School and all the schools that feed into Dobie High School. Spend some time looking at this chart so you know the appropriate adaptive physical education teacher to contact. Calandra Salter is our supervisor. 2.
Adapted Physical Education in Pasadena ISD. The purpose of adapted physical education is to provide a physical education program in which the activities and teaching procedures are adapted to the specific strengths and limitations of students with disabilities who cannot participate in the general physical education program or who needs adaptations for safe and successful participation. Least restrictive environment must always be considered when determining a student's adapted PE eligibility.
Least restrictive environment, or LRE, is the requirement in federal law that students with disabilities receive their education to the maximum extent appropriate, with non-disabled peers, and that special education students are not removed from regular classes unless, even with supplemental aids and services, education in regular classes cannot be achieved satisfactorily. Our department directly serves the more severely disabled that will benefit and can be physically educated. To the greatest extent possible, children with disabilities should be educated with non-disabled peers. However, the continuum of alternative environments may be used if it is determined that full inclusion is not appropriate.
Benefits of LRE for students with special needs. Affords a sense of belonging with the school community. Provides a stimulating environment to learn. Provides opportunities for the development of friendships. Enhances self-respect and affirmations of
Individuality.
Frequently results in greater motivation to perform. Provides peer role models. Provides opportunities to be educated with same-age peers. Mirrors the community at large and the post-school world. Benefits of LRE for all students. Provides opportunities to experience diversity of society on a small scale in a classroom. Develops an appreciation that everyone is unique and has abilities. Develops
Sensitivity.
toward others' limitations and unique skills. Develops respect for others with diverse characteristics. Increases abilities to be peer helpers and to help teach all classmates.
Eligibility for APE is based on physical and/or motor assessment results, psychomotor, cognitive, and affective factors that would impact the student's ability to successfully participate in general physical education curriculum and environment with assistance. The ability of the student to benefit from an APE program, including considerations such as the ability to understand cause and effect, the capacity for voluntary movement, the ability to interact with another person, the ability for a valid and reliable assessment to be performed, meeting the TEA age and state graduation requirements for physical education or requirements stipulated by the ARD committee, and the least restrictive environment must be addressed. The referral process. Teachers are encouraged to contact their school's APE teacher if they would like advice on any students. These informal requests should be the first step toward the referral process. The next step in the referral process begins with a request for screening from the campus diagnostician or LSSP and does require parental consent.
This document is the consent for screening. This document is filled out by special education staff on campus and sent home to be signed by the student's parent. Continuation of the referral process. Finally, the general education PE teacher should fill out a teacher checklist and send it to Calandra Salter at the CLC with the screener request. The teacher checklist can be found in the special ed handbook. After this step, the APE teacher and the LSSP or diagnostician will continue with the referral process. Please make yourself familiar with this teacher checklist for adapted physical education. It's important that you fill out this document in its entirety. Make as many notes as possible, as this will help with information about the student's eligibility for adapted physical education or the need to remain or be part of general physical education. To the greatest extent possible, children with disabilities should be educated with non-disabled peers. However, the continuum of alternative environments may be used if it is determined that full inclusion is not appropriate.
Instructional service models. Direct service. APE teachers provide instruction to a student or small group of students at designated times. No continuation of general education PE unless agreed upon by the ARD committee. Consultation. APE teacher provides consultation services, appropriate programming and/or equipment to the teacher and other educational staff. Instruct the students to ensure the student meet the IEP goals and objectives.
A continuum of instructional services associated with physical education. Instructional setting and descriptions are listed below.
General physical education settings.
General education instruction and setting.
General physical ed setting with modified TEKS.
Still in the general education setting, but some activities may be modified in order for the student to be successful.
General physical ed setting with goals and objectives.
In the general ed setting, but may have some goals and objectives that need to be addressed as well.
Direct adapted PE services.
Small group pullout, where the student work on mastering their goals and objectives.
Homeroom instruction implements goals and objectives.
Student does not benefit from direct PE service, but will benefit from some specified movement goals and objectives.
Similar goals take the place for PE credit.
In this category, the skill level is so low that the goals and objectives are already met in another area. Examples: occupational therapy, physical therapy, or fine motor skills. The following are best practices for general education PE. All students attend a PE class. All students go to a grade appropriate PE class. Generally, students receive adaptive PE or general education PE. Adaptive PE students who go to general PE are only going when transitioning from adaptive PE to general education PE. TEA mandates 135 minutes of PE for elementary students. Secondary students earn PE credits based upon TEA requirements.
Roles and expectations of campus staff in adapted physical education environment. You are an incredibly important part of the delivery of physical education services. You know more about the student and spend more time with the student than anyone else during the day. We are very appreciative of your time and effort in providing physical education services to students with disabilities.
The many roles of campus staff in PE: behavior management, motivator, instructor, evaluator, caregiver, and protector.
Responsibilities for the special education staff in the general PE environment. Establish a positive relationship with the general PE teacher and/or adapted PE teacher. Demonstrate or have a student demonstrate the skill expected to be performed. Help the student stay on task. Use appropriate modifications of rules and equipment given by APE or GPE teacher. Provide appropriate positive
Specific
feedback or correct feedback. Continued responsibilities for the special education staff in the general PE environment. Acknowledge that the PE teacher is the authority in the PE setting or class. Include all students in PE activities or IEP goals. Allow students to perform activities as
independently,
possible. Facilitate positive, age-appropriate interactions with peers. Implement behavior management plan utilized in the classroom. Assist student with self-care activities.
In summary, in the education setting, you are the greatest pathway for transformation. For the best interest of our students, we challenge you to give your best in physically educating our district's special education students. Thank you again for taking this e-course on adaptive physical education. Once more, we provided this list of the feeder patterns in the district so that you can contact your adaptive physical education teacher with any questions you might have. Again, we thank you for your time and for listening to this e-course.